What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about a new update in Black Ops Cold War, a teaser from Call of Duty, and even some shocking news that really upset the community yesterday. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and also be sure to check out our wonderful partner Manscaped, who recently released a variety of products with the Performance Package 4.0. Your friends out there will also be taken care of like never before with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Crop Preserver deodorant, and the Crop Reviver toner. Also included is the Weed Whacker trimmer for our nose and ears, a magic mat, and some more free gifts like the Manscaped boxers and a luxury travel bag. Be sure to click on the link down below in the description and use code TWITCH20 to save 10% off your order. But also thank you guys so much for the wonderful birthday wishes yesterday all over Twitter, Discord, even DMs. Seriously means the world to me. I am now 22 years old, but as I told you guys before, I've been playing Call of Duty since I was 8 years old, so that's how long I've been invested in this franchise. But yesterday we got a minor update to Cold War multiplayer with a playlist update. We now have America 24/7, in case you guys haven't been able to play the map yet. I know it was a bit rare to find in quick play last week. We also have Nuke Jacked, Gunfight Glubical 24/7, and a couple of other minor tweaks and patches to some of our weapons. I'll have the full list of patch notes linked down below in the description. We do have what could be the final free combat pack to release as a part of Season 6, exclusive to PS Plus users only, but I am assuming that all previous combat packs will likely release for Xbox and PC in the next few weeks, probably November the 1st, which also happens to be the same day we're getting Onslaught on other platforms as well. I did some research and it looks like last year for Modern Warfare fans, all those combat packs for PS Plus also did release on Xbox and PC. Let me know if that is correct down below in the comments, but that is what I've been able to find about that. So in case you guys care about these free DLC packs, they'll be available for everybody starting what hopefully is going to be November the 1st. But I'm sure any day now we're also going to get a reveal of what the PlayStation exclusive content is going to be for Vanguard this year. It's totally up in the air, whether it's for multiplayer, whether it's for zombies, but as expected, the contract between Sony and Activision will continue with Call of Duty going forward. Now, the legend himself, Rob, who also got a reply from Treyarch yesterday, congrats to him, went ahead and confirmed in my tweet earlier that we got until next week on Saturday till we're coming up on the year-to-date reveal of Onslaught for Black Ops Cold War, so they might end up revealing the PlayStation exclusive Vanguard content at around the same time. You never know. Now, today we also got a new teaser trailer for the Haunting event beginning on October the 19th for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. What I am guessing is that right now we're going to get a full trailer reveal, maybe even a small roadmap for all of this on Monday. I'll keep you guys posted with that. In this teaser trailer, we got the legend himself, FaZe Swag, in there for a cameo, which was hilarious. Absolutely love how they have a really similar sounding voice for Ghostface as well. Rumors right now do confirm that we're going to be having Ghostface as the commentator or announcer for all the Halloween modes and other events that are beginning with the Haunting later next week. And yeah, it's great that the voice does sound pretty similar to what we're accustomed to in the Scream films. Scream 5, or just Scream as you want to call it, does release very soon, so definitely a perfect crossover for Call of Duty this year. You can also call 1-866-COD-HAUNT to receive some spooky messages that I think were pretty funny. I'll put an image on screen of somebody who tweeted out exactly what he heard over on the phone. Now, in the teaser, we do get a glimpse of what looks like Nighttime Verdansk, which should be coming with the start of this event. I know we had a Nighttime Verdansk last year with the Haunting of Verdansk event, and we do know zombies are coming back thanks to some early info that surfaced on the internet about the challenges we're going to see with the Haunting event. So yeah, Night Verdansk 84 should be a ton of fun, and I'm wondering where the zombies are going to spawn on the map itself. I'll be streaming the entirety of the event starting this Tuesday. I'll probably start to stream a little bit earlier in the morning to warm up, get some pre-games going, and then we'll be live throughout the entire day completing all the challenges and enjoying all of the new content. Now, hilariously, as I was live with the Bombshell podcast earlier this afternoon, if you guys missed it, I'll have it linked down below. Call of Duty went ahead and actually scheduled the Haunting event trailer, which is going to be premiering this Monday at 12 o'clock Central, which is also 1 o'clock EST. Now, it's funny because when I first recorded this video tonight, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a trailer, but now we got confirmation of that. So, should be a full gameplay trailer showcasing what's going to release for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, but it is still unclear if this will replace a potential Season 6 Reloaded. I'm going to guess probably not, but I'm excited nonetheless. I'll be live streaming the actual reaction and reveal of this trailer this Monday, and of course I'll be live again the next day with the entirety of the event as well. Now, as COD themselves even tweeted today, we got lots of recent Vanguard marketing this past week, so let me know if you guys are on board yet with Vanguard, or are you guys still waiting for some other marketing, or waiting closer to release before buying it, or are you going to wait until later in the year to pick it up after more reviews come in? I'm curious where you guys are standing right now, and hopefully you guys stick around with me as I cover Vanguard starting very soon. Now, I'm sure you guys remember the buddy with the prosthetic leg who was working together with Stitch in the Season 6 intro. He just releases an operator bundle for 2,000 COD points. The pack comes with Fuze himself, a mission to earn 300 COD points back, the wire cutter blueprints for the MP5, the pace pipe blueprint for the M79, both of which feature orange tracer fire and Shatterblast Dismemberment with explosive elemental damage for zombies. We also have a charm, then an animated emblem, and even a calling card. But you guys probably also missed the release of the Stoner's Delight 3 bundle, which came out also right alongside the heavy Vanguard marketing we got yesterday for the new Treyarch Zombies iteration. So there's a lot going on this past week. Hopefully I've organized it in the best way I possibly can. I went ahead and streamed the live reveal of Vanguard Zombies yesterday. Thank you guys for tuning into that. It was a ton of fun. I'll have a separate breakdown video and more of a video where I give my thoughts on what Treyarch has revealed thus far. I'll probably be posting that at some point tomorrow morning. But I also wanted to point out that the Season 6 outro cinematic cutscene should be dropping, I would say, almost any day now, but maybe they're going to wait closer to the launch of Vanguard before possibly leaving us off on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I know what I would want to see in future Call of Duties is maybe have it to where we have a small Easter egg to do in Warzone, or at least some challenges in multiplayer that upon completion, you then unlock the outro cinematic cutscene for that season. I think that'll be a really cool way to interact more with the community and kind of give us something a little bit more challenging to do before giving us a nice, beautiful cinematic that wraps up the story for that season. That's just the way I look at it. Let me know if you agree with that down below in the comments. I feel like there's a lot of story still left to tell with just one more cutscene to go, so I'm wondering if things will be left on a bit of a cliffhanger with the Season 6 outro, or if things will suddenly just end for Adler and Stitch, whether they die, whether they go off into hiding or something, then somehow that bridges us into the opening of Black Ops 2's campaign. I'm still gonna say that all of this is canon with Black Ops 2, but the ending of Forsaken kind of hints at something that might be a bit different. So Kravchenko may have in fact died with the ending of DLC 4, so if that's true, then that of course bridges zombies away from the Black Ops 2 canon, but it is unclear if the zombies canon in Cold War is still tied into Black Ops 2's campaign, or is that tied into something completely separate so that they have more creative freedom. But as of now, the Cold War campaign and the post-launch story seems to be connected with Black Ops 2. We'll leave it at that. But I definitely wouldn't mind if they broke the canon a bit and told a sequel to Cold War, whether it's for both campaign and zombies, that maybe takes place in the 90s or something. I mean, with rumors of COD 2023 being in the future, still boots on the ground, I'm sure they'd rather tell us a new story that possibly picks up from Black Ops 2's ending and wrap up the 80s completely with Cold War, unless they have a whole new story plan that is not connected to Black Ops that they'll end up dropping in a couple of years from now. I know I saw a good tweet from the lad himself, Eric Maynard, who did say that he wanted to make a video at some point soon about how a 90s COD would work with the themes for both campaign and zombies. So with that, I think that's also worth touching up on a bit more in a separate video in the future. The 90s or the early 2000s haven't really been touched on at all with the Call of Duty franchise, so that would definitely be a cool idea that maybe Treyarch could explore at some point in the future. Now, I'm sure you guys were all sweating bullets when you saw the report that apparently the Ricochet anti-cheat that isn't going to be launching until Season 1 of Vanguard is apparently already out there in the open, while some cheat developers are somehow trying to reverse engineer it, which is not good news at all. So in case you guys missed this, they announced the Ricochet anti-cheat coming to Call of Duty later this year, and it's going to feature a PC kernel level driver for Warzone launching with the Pacific map, and it'll then come to Vanguard multiplayer later in the year, possibly some point after that, and that is all for PC, of course, right? There is no mention right now as to how the console level anti-cheats will be affected by Ricochet, if not at all. I'm assuming that'll be something separate they touch on in the future if console cheating becomes a problem, but it's similar to what Valorant uses, right? This will examine what is active on your PC when you activate and start playing the Warzone application. It'll turn off when Warzone is not open. They left that at that, but there are some really shocking reports as of last night that apparently the anti-cheat is already out there in the open, and apparently the source code had leaked. But today, Call of Duty purposely tweeted that the Ricochet anti-cheat is in controlled live testing, and before putting it on your PC, they're testing the hell out of it. As they said, testing includes providing a pre-release version of the driver to select third parties, and they're readying server-side upgrades for launch. Ricochet anti-cheat response has been wild this week, so yeah, all good. So that was definitely a response to the rumors that surfaced yesterday, and I guess that makes sense, right? They've released at least the kernel driver to select third parties to make sure it's unbeatable, but somehow somebody went ahead and leaked that to the public, and that's out there now. But as of now, even COD Tracker provided an update on this with some of their tweets today. So COD Tracker, who often works with Activision, went ahead and said that cheat developers are attempting to learn how Ricochet functions in order to bypass it once it's it's implemented. However, this also means that Activision can patch discovered shortcomings before it is even in use, a trial by fire, if you will. But they also mentioned lots of misinformation is being shared regarding the situation, so to clear up some confusion, no, the source code has not leaked. This is the kernel driver that every player will install and have access to once it drops. This leak gives cheat developers and Activision a bit of a head start. So if anything, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that somebody may have leaked the kernel driver past the third party that was supposed to have it, and maybe some other randoms have it out there on the internet now. If anything, it's a good thing so that Activision can find the loopholes and figure out any shortcomings, as Kyle Tracker said, before it even drops in late November, maybe December. So that's one thing, right? But, and I say this with a big capital B, but if it is true that somehow people reverse engineer the anti-cheat already, and somehow it does not work as intended by the time it drops with Season 1, that's gonna be the biggest travesty we've seen in a long time, right? Activision has not had a good year in terms of PR, so I think that's the last thing they need now. If an anti-cheat somehow gets marketed, gets talked about heavily, is all highly anticipated, and then is broken upon launch. But one thing I said on the podcast is that what's really sad about the entirety of Ricochet and the anti-cheat itself is that this wouldn't even be necessary if people just didn't cheat. And I get it, right? The world's a crazy place. People like to cheat in games. It's common. We see it all the time. But with the severity of the Warzone cheating, I just don't understand, again, who these people are. Why is it fun to cheat in Warzone, to just make community go berserk? Why is it fun to be responsible for breaking the game, right? You know, pushing content creators away, pushing casuals away. Why do you want to be responsible for that? I mean, are you either just not good enough to get better at Warzone? Do you not have the time to practice and get used to a loadout? Or do you just enjoy making people miserable? I just don't understand where this even stems from, but it's unfortunate it's come to this. Once Ricochet releases, it'll probably open up a can of new worms with certain programs not being accessible, 3D artists having problems. It's just such a mess, and it's unfortunate it's even come to this to begin with. I'm just crossing my fingers that all of it is worth it, where if they're going to go to the extent of having a kernel level driver that may ban people from making renders and ripping assets, if we're going to go that far, I just hope it works so that Warzone's actually playable with the launch of a brand new map. Now, in case you guys also missed when I mentioned this in a previous video, this Monday, or whenever we do get the full blog post, maybe a roadmap and a gameplay trailer for the Haunting event, that may be the day we get a bit of an answer as to whether or not Season 6 Reloaded is going to happen, for Cold War that is. Because last year with Season 6 of Modern Warfare, the Haunting of Verdansk essentially overtook a Season 6 Reloaded for that game's final season. There wasn't a Season 6 Reloaded, it was just the Haunting of Verdansk and a dedicated roadmap for that big update. So that acted as the mid-season update, or the day when we got all the in-season content that was listed on the original roadmap. So maybe in a future blog post for the Haunting, or at some point that week, we'll end up getting a confirmation as to whether or not anything else is coming to Cold War before the release of Vanguard. Now, various gaming scoopers have still claimed that November the 4th is supposedly the drop of Season 6 Reloaded, but that's also what could be the same day that people in New Zealand, Australia, other countries are able to already start playing Vanguard. I mean, offline that is, servers won't be active, but at least the campaign. So that'll be a busy day, at least for me, where I'll be trying to play the Vanguard campaign early if it's allowed, and then on top of that, covering any new content that releases for Cold War. Now, the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost has claimed that potentially one remake is left for multiplayer, and I am aware, right, there were lots of rumors a few months ago about maps like Plaza and Yemen, Radiation and Launch, you know, some classic maps that will be set to return in Cold War. So is it still possible we get a Back in Black type update that would surprise everybody, which will be this massive drop of several remasters that come into Cold War multiplayer? That would be interesting. I'd be open to it. I think it was a bit interesting and different, to say the least, that we got essentially just new content at the start of Season 6, no remakes at all, not a single remaster. So I'm curious if that was done on purpose so that they'll save a bunch of remasters to drop all at once with a big mid-season update of Season 6. Now, if Season 1 of Vanguard is quietly delayed till December the 1st, the original rumor was November 23rd as the start date of that season, but the in-game Battle Pass timer says otherwise. So if that was the case, then yeah, the middle of Season 6 for Cold War wouldn't really be until, what, the beginning of November, kind of? So they'd want to do that before the release of Vanguard, of course, but the day before is kind of pushing it. So I'm curious how much to really save for a big update, if one exists at all, for the mid-season. Now that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on our new update in Black Ops Cold War, the playlist changes, the brand new bundles? Also, what are your thoughts on the potentially shocking news that the anti-cheat is already out there, as well as the new teaser trailer we got for the Haunting event? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.